Minas Basin is the hairline of the Maritimes. It's a lot of work to do, but we're pointed like a beaver's teeth. That's what the French said when they set her making bowls out of the land, making measurements up to their armpits, envisioning a malmovis, they'd call it. Then this guy was looking all around the place, from Glooscap's knee to Pissyget and far back. Funny Sam, everyone set to calling him, 'cause he was always busy with this, back and forth and back again. About halfway through making them bowls, they noses got all funny like, wanting a name for the place. All the Mi'kmaq were canoeing and pointing to what the French were doing, saying, "Caddy, caddy." Anyway, Funny Sam? Ooh-ha! Well, he champagne'd about it a bit and decided to call her Minas Basin, which means to empty your bowl. Sheaves of wheat mixing with mahatwood. Mice and acacia mixing with coastline bluff and steam. Robin stirring her feathers in the wrong season, now called the off season. Perhaps Glooscap knew the sky was once younger, bluer, when the horizon tilted again. Glooscap sounds like Minas Basin, but pinched. Yeah, so on the fourth day of this bowl making, Knick-Knack Micmacs were speaking loudly, and it was endearing, because the women revealed their teeth, and their teeth was so white. Returning home is not altogether a physical act, as grief angles and pools across and in all sorts of places. Think branches and roots and fruit and labor. Think aboiteau on the salt marsh. Grief is mahatwood. The story goes that we all got real sad about things as they went along. It got real messy like and just real sad like. You know, sometimes I get to thinking about it all whenever I go setting on the old salt marshes. Sometimes I get distracted in my thoughts and set myself to wondering if Glooscap is laughing at the cows and such, because I get to laughing at the cows myself. Hoo-hoo-ha! Well, he's got to be laughing at him, belonging to some of the greatest laughers and all. Phew. You know, sometimes I get to thinking, you can belong just because of the way you laugh. Anyway, I sometimes get to thinking about it all. Some Maritimers say that lobsters scream when you boil them. Some say this noise is air hissing out. Air in their bellies and our bellies, belly to belly. In the Minas Basin, the tides are heavy and swollen and fast. And this hissing is stuck in a generational distension across the dikes to Blomidon, to Glooscap. The Minas Basin is mahatwood. Yeah, And so then, my mom started calling me Old Mahoutwick, because I'd spend my days down to the old salt marshes, doing all that thinking, and come home running on about cows and blommeting. She knew I probably got up to crying and such too, 'cause my old face would have them red streaks going down, and my hair too. I'd dig my hands into the mud, see, and try holding on to it. I don't know why, 'cause there was the grassy wheats and some of them wild cow patty grasses that get to growing from whatever them cows get to eating. I could have held on to that stuff, but I guess I like the slippery feeling of the mud. And anyway, I get to trying to hold on to it, then would just set her holding on to my hair instead. Anyway, my mom would say, "It's a lot of work to do, trying to hold on to all that mud. You get to squeezing it too hard, and it disappears right out of your hands." She said I'd come home with my heart washed in heavy seas. And you got red running all down your cheeks. Sometimes I never knew what my mom was setting to saying. You leave for the marshes and come back Old Mahoutwick. But I think I knew what she was saying then. Anyway, I'd just show her all my smiling teeth, saying, "Mum and Old Mahoutwick." Knowing of violence, Glooskap clenched his fist to swell the tide, holding it back an extra hour that day. The earth got saltier as we ran and cried that day, while the English bottled and pressurized and pasteurized the brine of that day. The sheaves of wheat, the Mahoutwick, the Malmauvais, the robin, the swollen bellies, the scalps on the ground that day. Pinched. Glooskap sounds like loose cap. I sets there thinking about it all, in a wondering type way of thinking. Ooh-ha. We got the highest tides in the world.